Hi everyone, and welcome to Two-Player Quest, where I help you on your quest to find the best two-player board games for you. In today's video, we have Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition by Stronghold Games. In Ares Expedition, you step back into the world of Terraforming Mars, but in a shorter, simpler version. You still play as a corporation, and you still play project cards to win the game and terraform Mars. But is this shorter version better for 2 or for more? Let's find out. Ares Expedition is a game for 1 to 4 players that plays in 45 to 60 minutes. It's at a 2.92 on BoardGameGeek for complexity, so it's just shy of a medium difficulty game, and it's a medium luck game. It depends on the project cards that are drawn, and frankly, if the phases are all in your favour, that also certainly helps. This is what the setup will look like at the start of a 2-player game of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. On the left-hand side here, we have the cards, then we have the opposite player, the player board, and what phases are in play. We have forest tokens, our phases that we can choose from. Now, we have our company, which is the company we start with, our resource board and our starting resources, a player aid. This is our starting hand, and on our company it shows that at the start of the game you draw 3 extra cards, so that's what these are. Every game consists of 3 steps, starting with the planning step, in which you choose which phase you want to play in the phase step. Every phase has an ability and a bonus. You get the bonus if you have chosen that phase for that round. The development phase is phase number 1, and each player may play 1 green project card, and the bonus is you play 3 less for the card you play this phase. Second phase is construction. Each player can play 1 blue or red card, and as bonus you either draw a card or you can play an additional blue or red card in that phase. In the action phase, each player activates any action effects and standard actions, and with the bonus you may activate 1 action an additional time. With production in phase 4, each player gains heat, plants, and draws cards according to their production. They also gain mega credits equal to their production and terraform rating. And as bonus, you gain 4 extra mega credits. On your player board, you can see your production. Now, if I were to move up this heat with a card, for example, I would have 1 heat production, and in this phase, I would add one cube to the heat supply. And lastly is the research step. All players draw 2 cards and keep 1 of them, and the bonus is you can draw 3 additional cards, so you draw a total of 5 cards and keep 2. Every player chooses their phase independently, so this character chooses to play development and places it down while the other player makes a choice. Once both players have made a choice, you open to see what cards are played. In this case, that is development and construction. Then you turn around the tokens to show which phases are being played this round. Then we start with the first phase, which is development phase. In the development phase, you can play 1 green card from your hand, and it costs you 3 less when you've played. So this player will play geothermal power, and it will cost them 5, as it is 3 less. The other player can also play a card, but this costs full price. Then it is the construction phase, in which each player can play a blue or a red card from their hand. Our player decides to play a red card, which costs 10, and flips an ocean tile. They choose to flip this ocean tile and gain the benefit shown, which is a card. So they gain a card from the stack to their hand. And because they terraformed Mars, they go up 1 point. Next up is the end step phase, where you discard down to 10 cards. Now this player has an exactly 10 cards in their hand at this point in time, so that is allowed. If you were to discard a card, that would gain you 3 mega credits, so 3 money. Then you start another round by choosing another phase, but you can't choose the same phase as you chose last round. So these cards stay there. The character looks at the phases they have left and chooses another one to play. In this case, they want to play production and place it on the card. And then once again, you turn the cards round and take the card back. And we turn these back round and turn round the phases that are played. You keep going until all the water tiles have been turned round, the heat is at +8 and the oxygen goes to 14. You play until the end of that round, and then the player with the highest score wins. I would say it takes about 10 minutes to teach the basics of this game to new players. After those 10 minutes, you can get started. Now, your first round and your first game will be a lot slower than later on games, just because people are still getting used to the dynamics and how things work together. But after a few games, it will certainly be those 45 to 60 minutes. If you want a simpler, more succinct and quicker version of Terraforming Mars, then this could be an excellent fit. Stepping away from the base game, if you're not familiar with Terraforming Mars as a game, then this is a wonderful engine builder which is highly replayable and very easy to bring to the table, and it is a bit of a shorter engine builder game, which can certainly be something someone is looking for. Now, this game also has some expansions that you can buy. One of them is an expansion that can make it co-op. So then you can make this game a competitive game, but also a co-op game, which is also something I can imagine people would enjoy. Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, it is a nice game, but we prefer the original to this version. Mainly because one of the things we love about the original version is the ability to build up your empire, play a lot of cards once you've really made a name for yourself. And that's just something we really enjoy. And in this game, that is very limited. You have a very limited amount of cards that you can gain. You also have a very limited amount of cards that you can play. And that's just not something we enjoy as much as the base game. For 2, it is quite a short game. And because you're dealing with these phases, which I will add is a very interesting mechanic, and it's a lot of fun to play with, to judge what other people are going to do. But if you're playing a 2-player game, then you only have 2 phases per round, which feels very short and frankly very inefficient to us. So we usually add a third NPC player that just draws a phase card at random, but you can sort of see what they've already played. And we use that to add an extra phase to our rounds to keep it more interesting for us. But in general, this game is 2-player approved. It is a lot of fun with 2 players, but we just prefer the big game more. Ares Expedition plays very well with more players. The phase mechanic in this game is a lot of fun with more, because you can sort of try to guess what other players are going to choose. So for example, I would like to have the action phase and the development phase this round, but I of course can only choose one. But I can look around the table, see what other people have played, are playing, what they want to do, and guess which one somebody else might be playing. So hoping that somebody else plays the action card, I choose the development card. So with those mechanics, you can sort of play around and sometimes either really annoy someone by not playing the other card that they need, or unknowingly help someone a lot by playing the card you think, I need this. And it's just a very good fun mechanic when playing with more. So it's most certainly 2-player approved, but I also very much recommend playing this with more, just because you get that extra touch of fun and chaos with the guessing what other people are going to play. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching our review of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. If you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions, put them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you next time on 2-Player Quest.